The Ashita no Joe manga is finally getting an English release late this year. Let's talk about it. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro to the video, Ashita no Joe is finally coming out in English. This classic series that ran from the late 60s to the early 70s has never before been released in English officially, and we are finally getting copies thanks to Kodansha US. Now the news broke just this morning. ICV2 had the exclusive. Kodansha Comics is going to be releasing the series for the first time in English late this year, starting in December of 2024, across a series of 8 deluxe edition hardcovers. So right there, it's already kind of unprecedented that they're going straight into the hardcover editions rather than doing paperbacks first. But I think it shows a lot of the faith that they have in this license, number one, but number two, also that they're kind of saying that their hardcovers have been doing particularly well. The first hardcover for Vinland Saga just launched, so it's probably not based too much on the sales of that one, maybe some pre-order sales on that one, but they have done other hardcovers in the past for stuff such as Ghost in the Shell, A Silent Voice, and other series. Anyway, Ashita no Joe, let's talk about this series. If you're unfamiliar with the series, it is a classic boxing manga that follows a character named Joe Yabuki, he has a natural talent for fighting, but when a washed-up fighter comes and tries to train him, he has no interest in it. However, soon Joe gets arrested and taken to prison, where he meets a prodigy named Rikishi, and the two become rivals, and once they get out of prison, they become professional boxers, and the story kind of follows them. Running from 1968 to 1973 and being collected across 20 volumes in Japan, the series was very popular amongst the working class and college students who saw Joe's struggles to mirror their own, and it's just become a huge culturally significant series in Japan that while we have gotten a couple of the adaptations available in English of the anime and stuff like that, and for instance Megalobox is inspired by Ashita no Joe for the 50th anniversary, we've never had the actual Ashita no Joe manga released, and now Kodansha Comics is finally bringing it to us in a series of 8 hardcovers that they'll be titling Ashita no Joe Fighting for Tomorrow. So each of those 8 hardcovers is going to be roughly 2.5 volumes of the Japanese release in each of those, and they'll come out as at a cover price of $59.95 each. So they are going to be pretty expensive, but I guarantee that's because the license itself was a little pricey. Now, this is very interesting because of a quote that comes from the ICV2 article, one of the most interesting things in my opinion. It comes from Kodansha publisher Toshihiro Tsuchiya, who said, "Kodansha believes that the manga market is maturing, as well as looking for past manga classics that have never been translated into English." So, if you've been collecting manga for any amount of time in English, you know that it's not that common to see classic series like this be released stateside. Mostly publishers are not too confident. The license holders in Japan are not confident enough that they will sell in the US to license them out to American publishers. And that's why we don't really get a lot of these classic series, especially not longer series like this having 20 volumes. It's very rare that we see something like this happen. But with a publisher in Japan, from one of the biggest publishers in Japan, Kodansha, saying that the market is maturing, that is a huge, huge good sign for us as English collectors, people who collect English language manga and like to read English language manga. That is huge for us because that means that we are going to start seeing kind of a change in the tide, so to say, with more classic series getting licensed, not just from Kodansha, but from other publishers as well. And we kind of have been seeing this a little bit in the recent past. For instance, not that long ago, Drawn and Quarterly announced that they were going to be releasing the classic series Kamui for the first time in English. We've only ever gotten the short sequel series released from Viz back in the, I believe, the 80s. And then just a couple of weeks ago, Viz Media, during their round of announcements, let us know that they were going to be re-releasing Red River, the classic shoujo series that's been out of print for over a decade. And they're re-releasing that in 3-in-1 volumes. So Viz Media, especially for one, has not licensed an older manga for a long time. Like off the top of my head, the last one they've done is Fist of the North Star. It's very few and far between that they do anything that's older than about like 10 years, 20 years, like anything that's before the 2000s really is very rare for them to do. And now they're re-releasing something like Red River. And I think this is going to be a huge change for the industry going forward. We're going to see a lot more publishers, not just bigger ones like Kodansha and Viz Media, but smaller ones as well, licensing and releasing a lot more classic manga for us stateside, which is fantastic. We already see it from some of the smaller publishers, like we get a lot of Hideshi Hino coming from Starfruit Books, for instance, but the bigger publishers like Kodansha and Viz Media, as I've mentioned, really stray away from older materials. They don't like to take chances on that stuff. So this is a huge, huge change. And not only am I excited because we are getting a classic series like Ashita no Joe for the first time in English, but I'm excited, and I think a lot of people should be excited by what this can mean for the future of the manga industry here in the States. So that said, I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to see these releases when they come out late this year. This is going to the top of my list as one of my most anticipated releases for 2024, without a doubt. I cannot wait to get this one in my hands, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you excited? Have you been hoping to see Ashita no Joe at some point? Is this a dream come true for you? And what classic manga are you hoping that we will see licensed from Kodansha, Viz, or any other publisher in the near future? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are watching one of my videos for the first time, thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you'll consider following so you can be notified of all the upcoming videos that I put out roughly every week. And if you're not new here, thank you again. You all know how much I appreciate you spending time with me, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.